Hello.
Hey, this is Robin calling.
I was assuming it was you when the 727 area code number popped up. So I was going to say,
That's right.
I'm actually in St. Pete right now. You were in Nashville for a little bit. Are you back in the Tampa Bay area?
I am. I'm right now. I'm currently in Clearwater.
Hey, I live in Clearwater. Awesome. We should get together and hang out and do some music and play some pool.
That's right. Hey, I'm down.
You also get the honor of being with Cheap Trick and your dad's band, the inaugural band playing at the new Sound Amp in Clearwater at the end of the month. That's going to be pretty rad.
We're really excited about that. The venue looks amazing. I don't know if you've seen the recent pictures, but they just put in the seats, and man, it looks pretty cool.
I've seen a few pictures and a couple videos that they've posted. I can't wait to get out there live and check it out for some of these shows. We're going to be out there for that first show night, so maybe we'll bump into each other there, but I can't wait to see it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Now, you, your dad, and even your sister are all Robin Zander, and that's got to get a little bit confusing sometimes, like around the holidays.
A little bit, I mean, we have a lot of Robins in the house, but for the most part, we call each other nicknames. We go by our middle names, and we get creative. But yeah, if Mom says Robin, we all come running.
Well, if Mom says Robin, yeah, I definitely would come running. Of course, your middle name is Taylor. Your sister's middle name is Sailor. That's got to get, sometimes the rhyming, if you're not listening real close, would be hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're musicians, so we're kind of addicted to rhyming things.
The most musically named family. I love it.
That's right.
Does she ever actually join you and Dad on stage with Cheap Trick and make it a family show?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of times in Cheap Trick's set, we have some moments where, if we're playing in a town where some family members are, we'll have them come up and sing some background vocals, and we always like to have a good time, So she definitely, she'll come up and sing on Surrender if the time allows.
You are sort of like the multi-purpose guy in the band because you can do drums, you can do keys, you can do bass, you can do guitar, you can do vocals. Do they just spin the wheel of instruments when you're playing a show and just be like, what do we need him to play for this song?
Well, I first started playing with the band when the drummer Dax was having his first kid with his wife.
And of course, that's Rick's kid, Dax, right?
That's right. He's been the touring drummer with Cheap Trick since 2010. And when he was having his first kid, they asked me if I could play drums, and I said sure. After he came back, they asked if I wanted to stick around and play rhythm guitar and do background vocals. So it just kind of was born from that.
I love it. Your new album, The Distance, is out now, and I was checking out the first single, High and Low. That's got some real great Beatles-inspired vocal harmonies in there.
Oh, well, the Beatles are definitely one of my main influences. Growing up, I was obsessed with them and bands like The Who and The Kinks and all that British Invasion stuff. I grew up basically on my dad's record collection, so anything he had at the house, I ate up and loved it.
And he had to have just an awesome and massive record collection.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and not just records. He had cassettes and CDs, and he had all the ways to play those. He even had an 8-track player, and, we had the tons of material to pull from. As a kid, it was like a kid in a candy store.
You can definitely hear some of those influences on High and Low. Are there any influences that you had growing up that you've gotten to meet through either your dad or your own musicianship and jam with?
I mean, yeah, we had tons of. When I was a kid, I was, I didn't know who I was meeting at the time, but they opened up for bands like, Kiss and, AC/DC. And, so for those moments as a kid, remembering when I was backstage and, there's Gene Simmons in full garb, as his character in the band, it scared the living daylights out of me as a little 5-year-old. But those memories I'll never forget, really cool memories.
Did you get to go on tour a whole lot when you were younger?
No, not really. I went to school, obviously, and the summers I got to go and definitely check them out. But during the school months, I was pretty much at home. But those summers were a blast. I got to ride the bus with my dad and go to a lot of cool places if the time allowed it and my schedule allowed it for school. I got to see a lot of really cool spots when I was a kid. So I'm definitely grateful.
There are a lot of kids of rock stars who say that, to me, it was always they were just mom or dad. But at some point, it finally dawned on them, wow, my parent is someone famous and people love their music or whatever. Do you remember when that moment kind of you realized, wow, my dad's really something big?
Yeah, I think I realized when I think it was around first or second grade, he came in and, we would have our parents come in and they would, basically tell everyone what they did for a living. And it was like the Great American Teach-In, I think is what it was called. And so my dad came in and he brought his guitar and his little 4-track, cassette player that he would record demos on. And he showed my class what he did for a living and showed how he would make a demo and a song. And when he did that, that's when I realized that, okay, my dad does something different because, a lot of my friends' parents came in and they're like, oh, I'm an attorney or, I'm a doctor or, whatever it was. And, my dad was a musician. So, it's just, I think that's when I realized that he had a way different kind of a career.
That's got to be just the coolest story ever. Yeah, I took my dad to career day because he's a rock star and he played for my class. But did the other kids in your class even know who he was or think that was cool?
I mean, they didn't know personally, but I'm sure their parents knew and told them. There was probably a lot of that going on. But I mean, as a kid in the 90s and early 2000s, Cheap Trick is for the most part known for their songs from the 70s and better part of the 80s. So, it kind of fell on deaf ears for most of them, I think. But I'm sure my friends' parents, were more interested.
I just think that's so cool. Yeah, I took my dad, the rock star, to career day, and everybody else. I bet every other parent there that day was just like, well, no, I don't want to go after that.
Yeah, I don't want to follow that act.
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've got a bunch of interviews to do today. I can't wait to see you guys on the 28th, and hopefully when you're out touring solo, you'll obviously come back through your hometown, and we can see you live there doing your solo stuff as well.
Well, hey, you'll see me open up the gig on the 28th. It'll be me opening up with a band.
Oh, fantastic. So are you doing double duty? You're opening and then jumping on stage?
Yep, I'm doing double duties. You'll hear the whole record from start to finish, and then you'll hear Cheap Trick.
All right. Well, you can check out the single that you've got released, High and Low. It's going to be in the blog that I'm posting to our website and sharing to Facebook and everything. Robin Taylor Zander, thank you so much for calling in.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And maybe we'll bump into each other around town sometime.
Yeah, we'll shoot a game of pool.
Absolutely. My wife would probably kick both our asses, so.
My girlfriend would probably do the same.
Oh, there we go. We'll just let the girls play, and we'll sit back and have drinks.
Yeah, perfect.
Thanks so much, man. Have a great day, buddy.